Go.
Basically what the machine does is check the compression and rebound at a different rate of speed from 0 to 15 inches a second. And it lets us know if our valving is working properly. A lot of things could affect the valving. How much wear you have in the shim stack, how much bleed is in the piston, how much wear is in the bore of the body of the shock, and all those things contribute to how the damper is able to dampen. So if any one of those variables are out of whack or a little bit bigger than another model, just from tolerances being plus or minus at the factory, we could adjust that with the valve stack and actually know that we're building the same shock. And we could also adjust the clickers on it to fine tune it to make it specific for the rider's level, his speed, the type of terrain he's riding on, and so forth, so that when he leaves the shop with his bike, he knows the bike's going to work properly rather than having to spend a whole day tuning on his shop. Right now the machine's just running. It's running about 12 inches a second. It's warming the shock up. When the shock gets to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll stop, calibrate itself, and actually test the shock. Let us know what it's doing.
What's it look like?
I'm not sure if we're there yet. We're going to recheck the 0 on it. Uh-oh.
So what are the advantages of having a dyno? Say for example that the stack inside's not right, the dyno would let you know, versus...
In this particular case on this shock, we put a known valving that we run on a lot of other shocks with this application, and the shock, for whatever reason, is reading too light on the rebound side. Without a dyno, a guy could have a build that he attained from somebody or came up with himself from testing and so forth, and never really realized, you know, he thinks the shock is good because he built another shock just like it, but he didn't realize that the bore was perhaps 10 thousandths bigger on that shock body than it is on this shock body. So essentially, even though they built the same valve stack with the same number of shims, the same thickness, diameter, and so forth, if the body is wore more or less than the other one, the shock will react different. So this way you can fine tune it. Some models repeat really well. Showa stuff is really, really good at repeating. Their tolerance from the factory, I think, is quite a bit tighter when they build this unit than the Kayaba stuff is. And the WP stuff is by far has the greatest variable in it. I've seen, if you built 10 WP shocks with the same exact valving, same piston, same gas pressure, oil level, and so forth, you'll have 10 different shocks. Kayabas, you can build 7 and 10 will be the same, and Showa's 9 out of 10 will be the same. So, you know, this stuff's really important because you feel right above this shock is your butt, and you feel what the bike's doing through this. So that's why we do this. You can stop that because we're done.